Here's a problem similar to 7.2.9 on your homework. It says solve the differential equation. And even though it doesn't specify for y, it really means for y. Differential equation for y. And then it gives you a differential equation. Square root of xy times dy dx is equal to 4. And then it says x and y are greater than 0. And the reason it says x and y are greater than 0 is because they're both under the square root sign, and obviously we can't take a square root of a negative number. Okay, so we want to evaluate this. To do this, we're going to use the method of separation to get our x and y variables on opposite ends and then integrate both sides. So the first thing I can notice is that I can rewrite this square root of xy as square root of x times square root of y, right? Now what that's going to allow me to do is bring this square root of x over to the right side along with this dx. So what do I get? Well, I have square root of y dy is equal. So this is going to be equal to 4 over the square root of x dx. And now what I can do is I can integrate both sides. All right, so what is that telling me? Well, integrating here, I am integrating y to the 1/2 power. So I add 1 and then divide out. So I have 2/3 y to the 3/2 plus c, right, some constant. And then over here, what do I have? Well, the 4 is just going to stay out front, and then I really have x to the negative 1/2, right? So I add 1 to that, and then divide out by that power. So I add 1, I get 1/2, divide out by 1/2, that's really multiplying by 2. Right? So I multiply by 2, and then I get square root of x plus d, right? Some other constant. The c and the d, they're both constants. They're both arbitrary, so those are going to get absorbed into each other. So now I'm just going to solve this for y. So the c moves over. These just become c and d together. I'll just call it c. But yeah, so I have 2/3 y to the 3/2 is equal to 8 square root of x plus c, because that's just an arbitrary constant. And now I multiply by 3/2 and take a 2/3 power of both sides. So I multiply by 3/2, I get y is equal to 3/2 of 8 is 12. Square root of x plus c, and it's still just c because it's an arbitrary constant. And then I'm taking the entire thing to the 2/3 power to cancel out with that 3/2 that was over by the y. And that is your solution.